ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः.
Thank you, Mother. That beautiful beginning prayer. Let us begin our program. Good morning. Welcome to all of you. Gurusharanananda ji, Swami Gurusharanananda ji, Yogacharya Srinidhi Baba, and I'm Suresh Kodolikar. Three of us, we are teachers in Kriya Yoga lineage. We have been authorized to initiate, and we have been with Kriya Yoga for several years. So we are really happy and looking forward to this program. So many of you have sent questions. Thank you for active participation and deepest love which we see through these questions. So without going into anything else, let's begin with these questions, because there are several questions that you have asked, and our effort is going to answer each and every question, except for some questions which are directly related to the Kriya technique. We will answer those questions later on we will ask Phil Baba to send us the contact of those people who have asked the questions, and we can send you email or find any other means to answer your question. But all the questions will be ultimately answered. I'm going to begin. I will read the questions, and we'll see. Three of us, we will try to answer the questions. Whichever one feels that would like to answer that question. First one, there are questions in this from this writer. First one is, do we have free will, or is that an illusion too? Gurusharanananda ji, okay.
Baba. Yes, we have free will, but we have lost that free will quite a bit because of our conditional lifestyle.
Very nice. Second question, the questioner was this question because he said, I'm not sure how silly or not. The second question is, here it goes. How powerful are our thoughts while in meditation? It's another long question, but I'm going to read the whole thing. I have personally been struggling with obsessive fixating thoughts recently. I seem to self-sabotage. My question is, here is the question. If an intrusive thought arises whilst in deep meditation of our practice, does that thought become reality? Or does it need real intention? My example is, when I'm coming into a bliss state, I have a recurring intrusive thought of lyrics that involves selling the soul. Wow. I then worry that our practice is so powerful. Have I just accidentally done what the lyrics have said? I'm honestly not sure how silly this question is or isn't. I know we are powerful beings, and I'm not totally sure of how it works. It's literally selling a soul even possible, as we are all part of the one. Maybe Guru Sharanananda, you can continue.
Baba. During meditation, thoughts appear, but through conscious breath, slowly the flow of thoughts disappears. In deep meditation, there is no thought at all. If any thought is bothering you, pray to God and Gurus for help and trust them. Thank you, Baba.
Very nice. Srinidhi Baba, do you want to add something?
Yeah. Thoughts and words, can be powerful. The thing is, there's a passing thought doesn't have any kind of a effect. Okay, that's just passing thought, and you like Swamiji mentioned, you can just offer it to the fontanelle and pray to God and Gurus to get rid of this thought. But if there is a strong intention of a particular thought, that could take effect. But remember, that is going to lose, you are going to lose some spiritual power when you do that. So be careful about what you strongly intend and try to, think about any particular aspect. Okay.
Baba,
So,
questioner is saying, is it possible to sell the soul?
yeah, there is no question about selling the soul. Soul is part of God. There's no way you can sell the soul.
We don't have that power at all.
We don't have that power.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the second question. Question I have is, if there are supreme blissful yogis and men and women of God, is there not the opposite? Does the opposite exist? What are your thoughts on evil or demonic possessions? Is this a real thing? We live in duality. Where there is good, there is bad. So evil does exist. Demonic possessions, they do exist. But we should not think too much about this because our thoughts will energize those. We should stay on the positive side, and then energy that is given to these negative thoughts or negative existences, they get reduced. So that is part of our responsibility. The questioner is asking, and I personally am inspired by many, and realistically all yogis, but if any, who do you find most inspiring? Baba, who I find inspiring is not really important. What is it that you find inspiring? And what is it that you can take? But to answer your question, I find my Gurudev inspiring. I find my Guruji inspiring. I find Jesus inspiring. I find Saint Francis inspiring. Swami Vivekananda had inspired me and given me a lot of directions through his teachings. And so has Paramahansa Yoganandaji and Ramakrishna Paramahansa. So there are many, many yogis who we resonate with, and we can learn from them. Thank you. The next question is, what is the best way for Vanaprastha to deal with their remaining material desires? Vanaprastha is, there are 4 ashrams, as we call them. And Vanaprastha is one of those ashrams. And I'll ask Gurusharanananda, she is the Swamini. So would you like to answer that, Mother?
Baba. So Vanaprastha is the third stage of life. It is a transition period between a householder life and a life of renunciation. The meaning of Vanaprastha is one who moves the forest after fulfilling his or her family responsibilities. Vanaprastha life is a life of prayer, meditation, and service to society. Instead of fulfilling personal wants, one can think of serving others. There may be some material desires, but with a higher goal, slowly one can be free from them. Good company helps us to stick to our higher goals. Thank you, Baba.
Let me add that I remember Swami Samarpranji's instructions of how to control desires. He mentions, first of all, when a desire comes, first step is to delay. In other words, don't act on the desire right away. The second step is to deny. In other words, you do your introspection and deny whatever that particular material desire, because it's not something that is taking you to God. Essentially, it is coming in the way of God. The third step is to, of course, takes a while, is to destroy that desire completely. In other words, that desire should not eliminate should not come again at all. Complete elimination. So delay, deny, then destroy. Those are the 3 steps he has suggested. Thank you.
Okay. Lord Krishna as well as Patanjali, they have talked about when Patanjali, sage Patanjali describes the meaning of yoga, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. But how to make the mind calm and still. But his answer is very simple. There is no magic pill in this one. They say abhyasena tu vairagyana. Abhyasa and vairagya. We need to have constant effort, because our Gurudev always used to say, practice, practice, practice makes perfect. So we need to do that. And then as we are practicing, we need to set our goal and we need to pull ourselves away from distracting elements. So that is the path, and that's a medicine for all our negative things. Pull away and practice on the positive side. Thank you. Now, next question. Interesting. I have been curious. Do you think Hariharananda or any yogi who has reached that stage dreamt when he slept? The function of dreaming is to process subconscious thoughts and experiences, or in yogic terms, to work through sanskaras, the imprints of past actions and experiences. The imprints of past actions and experiences stored in the mind. Given that he was always in a state of superconsciousness, would his mind even need to engage in dreaming? Hariharanandaji stayed with us for 6 months, and I don't think he ever mentioned about dream. Now, I'm not saying that that is the total answer for that. Srinidhi Baba, maybe you can talk about this. Yogis having dreams, or is that possible? Is that does that happen?
Yeah, even I don't know whether Sri Gurudev dreamt. I have no idea. I know that he used to, Guruji has mentioned that he would get up every hour and look at his watch and then I guess go back to sleep. So that I have heard from Sri Guruji. But in terms of the, compared to our ordinary beings, right? A realized master does not have any kind of remnant samskaras. The Sanchita karma has been eliminated because of the blessings of God and Gurus and at that part of realization. So Sri Guruji has mentioned that he dreams about Gurudev many times and he enjoys them, of course. He is with Gurudev in many different places. He's in Puri and he's in, various places, his association. But Guruji also mentions that for us, when we dream, to be careful about, we may dream about the Gurus, he says, enjoy it. But if there is a particular suggestion that comes in the dream, he says, be careful. Don't try to follow that particular suggestion. Follow the Guru's instructions. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, our teachers, they are in a sattvic state. So in that sattvic state, Sri Guruji dreams about Gurudev, Sri Gurudev only. He does not dream about different kinds of dreams. So that's a good point to remember. We go to the next question. Can you please discuss something about desire and attachment? Let me go to the second part of this question also. Can you please also discuss something on detachment during our Kriya practice? Swamiji, would you?
Baba.
Yeah.
Baba.
Okay.
Desire and attachment follows each other. Follow each other. If you are not content,
Okay.
okay.
Go ahead, Ma.
Desire and attachment follow each other. If we are not content, then desire arises. Desire leads us possessiveness and attachment. If desire is directed for a higher purpose, we get attached to the higher priority in life. Later, we can experience ultimate freedom. Thank you, Baba.
Very nice, Mother. The next question is, I'm very excited for the upcoming talk next week. I've attached a couple of questions. What do each of you feel are the top 3 things every Kriyavan should do and or incorporate in their lives? Mother, you answered the previous question so wonderfully. Would you like to take this one?
Baba.
Okay.
The two wings of spiritual practice, as per the Gita, are repeated practice, abhyasa, and detachment is vairagya.
Srinidhi
Baba,
Baba.
excuse me. Baba, please can you read the question?
Okay, sure. What do each of you feel are the top 3 things every Kriyavan should do and
Baba.
or incorporate in their lives? Okay.
Baba, thank you, Baba.
Okay.
During the time of your initiation, you made a few promises. Please remember them. To meditate regularly, seek the company of holy people, and surrender to God and Gurus in every situation of your life. Thank you, Baba.
Yeah. Srinidhi Baba, you want to add something?
Yeah. I will mention 5 things. And, Swamiji has already mentioned some of them already. So one is Shraddha. Shraddha means it is the faith in the Gurus and the scriptures. With that faith, a doubting Thomas cannot progress too well. So it is important to develop that faith and love to the Gurus and the scriptures and then follow that. Second part is the sadhana, the practice itself, which Swamiji mentioned. I mean, when I say it is sadhana, it doesn't mean just the meditation. It could be prayers, it could be other things that you do as part of that. The third aspect is Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is study of the scriptures, but more importantly, study of your own self. What are your traits? What are your negatives? To develop the positive traits even more, and to consciously reduce the negative traits. The fourth aspect is seva, to be serviceful in whatever way you can, to the society at large, or to the ashram, or to the center that you are associated with, however you want to decide, whatever your seva aspect is. But be careful not expecting any recognition as part of that seva, but doing the seva selflessly. And finally, like Swamiji mentioned, sadhusanga. Sadhusanga means association with the good, with realized masters if possible. But your soul, remember, itself is your master. So being in consciousness of the soul itself is sadhusanga. So those are the 5 I would mention.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Gurusharanananda ji, how does one know when he's ready for higher Kriya?
Baba, please, you answer this question.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a practical answer. In Kriya Yoga, what we say that if you practice first Kriya sincerely, regularly, as per you have promised during the initiation, after 3 years, you qualify for the second Kriya. So I think I'll stop there because, typically when you are really ready, Guru will show you a path for the higher Kriya. He will give you that inspiration. He will open up that path. What that path is, you will know. Practicing what you have is more important than thinking about higher Kriyas. In Autobiography of a Yogi, there's a story about postman that Yoganandaji wanted to asked him, don't you need to go to the higher Kriya? He said, Baba, please don't. I'm so happy with this first one. I don't know what I will do with the other happiness. So, that contentment, that practice, that sincerity, that's what is required to succeed on this path. Let me go to the next question. What are some tips in your experience to improve or enhance our practice? I would hold off of that. Anything related to the practice directly, I would not discuss in the general meeting. We will come back to you and talk about that. Unless Swamiji, you want to give some general guidelines, what are some tips in your experience to improve or enhance our practice?
Sure, Baba. To enhance your experience, practice meditation regularly, choose a sattvic diet, study the biographies of noble souls, and have love for God and Gurus. Thank you, Baba.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. How does a student find a guru? Mother, continue, please, if you want to.
In Vivekachudamani, it is written that three things are the rarest of the rare. They come through the grace of the divine and the grace of the gurus, the masters. These are both in human body, desire for liberation, and the company of realized souls. And students do not find gurus. Gurus find the students.
Okay. Srinidhi Baba?
Yeah, I think Swamiji has answered it
Good.
well.
Wonderful. Okay. Next question. Today in my daily blessing emails, saying the Harirananda, it was said, keep your attention fixed and come up from the lower 5 chakras to the divine kingdom. Never go down again. Without going into the technique, Srinidhi Baba, would you want to answer that?
Yeah, basically what the teaching is that you keep your mind on God all the time, and work from there, keeping that attention on God a little bit, even a little, even if it is 1%, but from there, work with that consciousness is basically what Gurudev is mentioning there. So perform your activity, keep watching your breath as much as you can, and then keep that attention on God.
Okay. All right. Next question is, why was the center of attention moved from the 6th to the 7th chakra? The questioner is asking about Kriya Yoga practice, I believe. So without going into the technique itself, Srinidhi Baba, would you want to comment on this? Why was the center of attention moved from the 6th to the 7th center?
Yeah, Sri Guruji has mentioned that focusing on the 6th center basically enhances your intuitive power, and also leads you to perceive God in the form that you love. The focusing on the fontanelle, the scriptures have mentioned, there's a quote which says, Brahmarandre mano tattva kshanardamapi tishtati sa brahma vapnoti sa brahmaiva bhavati, which means that if you keep your attention in the fontanelle and practice, that will lead you to realization. And so the ultimate realization is possible through that way. In other words, being able to realize the formless aspect of God.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. The next question is, the divine sound is my anchor, and the meditation is more on the sound as it sinks deeper. I'm curious to know what it takes to go to the source of pranava. Divine sound is my anchor. Divine sound is my anchor also. It's an anchor for a lot of people. What it takes to go to the source of pranava. Pranava is Om. Om, those who have read different things, pranava has been explained in various different ways. Pranava is Om sound. Some people call it AUM. Some people say OM. Some people say A, U. So Ma. So So, but it is a sound, and pranava is a symbol of God. So the pranava comes from God. Pranava comes from divinity. So the source is divinity. The deeper you go into that sound, just like the way deeper you go into your meditation, your ultimate goal is to transcend this body and merge into the divine. So that is the source of pranava. That is the source of our practice of meditation or any other form of meditation that leads to the ultimate goal of going from duality into oneness. Swamiji, you want to add anything to that, or Srinidhi Baba?
No, Baba.
Okay. Swamiji? In deep sleep, the senses are shut off and the world too does not exist. Does the divine sound prevail in that state? If not, does it go into seed form and ready to sprout upon the waking state? Divine sound is constant. Divine sound is pranava. It does not have any modification that it is appearing and disappearing. Appearing and disappearing is our perception, our functioning of our sense organs. The divine sound itself is always there. Now, what happens when we are in deep sleep? All the senses are not functioning. Senses stop functioning. You need to have the sense organ to hear the divine sound, perceive the divine sound. So during the sleep, you do not hear it, but it's not that the Om sound is going into another modification, another state, and then it is coming back up. No, divine sound is constant. It is there. Next question. Oh, well, this question will probably help everybody. Thank you all for your service and support. My question is this. After initiation, how does one go to get physical health with their Kriya practice? If you go to our Kriya site, there is you will find that if you have a question, you can ask it on acharya@kriya.org. So if you have a question, you can send it. It will go to the Mother Center, and they will get any teacher to respond to that. So you may want to make a note of that, acharya@kriya.org. That is your link. Next question is, how do you know who is your Ishta Devata? What if you resonate with more than one God and can't really decide? It's like choosing which parent I love most. Interesting. Ishta Devata, like Srinidhi Baba was answering that in the sixth center, there is God with a form. Now that God with a form could come, in India, it comes through the tradition of your family. That Ishta Devata is there as a family Devata. That could be your Ishta Devata. Ishta Devata could be given to you by your Guru. Ishta Devata, you can perceive whichever divine form that you resonate with could be your Ishta Devata. So it does not have to be one particular Ishta Devata. See, I'll give you an example. My wife Niva, she used to have many divine forms, many gods at the altar. When Gurudev was with us, and she was very specially attached to Mother Durga. So when Gurudev was with us, he told her, your Ishta Devata is Lord Krishna. And she was amazed. She said, I don't even have a picture here. I have all these gods. He says, no, you do not need any God. He wanted to get her attention away from all these different deities that she was attached to. And he has the ability, he has the strength to say that this is your Ishta Devata. But for us, if we like the questioner is saying that if I have more than one Ishtadevata, well, you decide, you find out. You need to make that effort. Who do you resonate more with? If there are parents, if there are two gods, if like parents, there are two gods that you are attached to, start with that. And through your practice, you may find out that, you are more resonating with one God. That would become your Ishtadevata. The second question this questionnaire has to deal with the practice, and we're going to answer that separately, getting contact information for Maitri Modi Ma, and then we'll answer that. Now, the third question is, despite strong willingness, how to overcome procrastination? See, we have answered it in various ways in this earlier conversation. Life is not simple. Making a decision is not simple for everybody. Just like the way Mother was saying that in Vanaprasthis, material desires, they will carry through. It is all right. You do not need to fight against them, but you need to remove them. And that process is slow. It's a slow process. You need to have definite resolve. You need to have the desire to pull away from those thoughts, and you need to have an anchor which is more positive. So same way in procrastination, if you have a strong will, work on that. What are the distracting thoughts that make you procrastinate? Determine those. Slowly try to go away from them. It's not going to happen in just one day. It will need that constant effort. Abhyasa and Vairagya. That's a beautiful pair that we need to keep in mind. Do you want to add anything, Baba, Mother?
Yeah, if there is procrastination with respect to meditation, I can, one of the things that you could do is micro step. So what is the micro step? Is, this can apply to other things too, but I'm just focusing on meditation. So the micro step is you just convince your mind saying, okay, let me just do a bow. That's all. And so you basically do the bow, and you'll see the effect of bow starts to take effect, and you start doing the rest of the things one after another. So, in other words, it's the mind is the one that is coming in the way of procrastination. So if you can convince the mind a little to get to start something, then the rest of it will come into play, essentially move on. So that's what I would suggest. If you try to do that, if this meditation is what you're procrastinating, it can apply to other things in the world as well. Just start doing something related to that, and then that can snowball into doing the rest of the stuff slowly.
Thank you. Swamiji, can you add?
Baba, masters said that one should never compromise with one's meditation. If we do not make meditation priority, we make our journey longer. And it is the tamasic attitude in our personality. Bring positive change to your life by maintaining regularity. Thank you, Baba.
Very nice. Thank you. Can you elaborate on how one can focus on breath throughout the day? Just like a question for Srinidhi Baba. Baba?
Yes, that's not easy to do. But since there was a time when Gurudev was in this meeting, and he was answering. He was telling us to give that attention on the breath, and I asked Gurudev, Baba, I forget the breath so many times. And he says, you will forget many times. He says, you just come back, remember, and continue to watch the breath. So in other words, trying to get back to that remembrance and watching it. So to start with, what you could do is start, of course, first of all, during meditation, make sure that you watch the breath. in all the various techniques. Of course, in Paravasta you don't, but all the other techniques you do. Then the second thing is, try to watch it, when you're not doing any particular activity, when you're just sitting, for example, just resting, for example, try to watch the breath. Then slowly add some simple activity, where it doesn't require too much of that attention, and then see if you can watch the breath continuously even then. Slowly, it is with that practice you keep on, growing into watching it, with even more activities that involve. Gurudev would say that keep, always that 1% attention in the fontanelle and do all your work. If you are hearing the divine sound, keep that attention on the divine sound and try to watch the breath with it. And try to do whatever activity. It takes practice. It takes continuous practice to remember. You forget many times, you remember, come back to it and try to practice.
Ultimately, it becomes just like breathing itself, does it not? Because
Yes.
breathing, you don't really think about it, it's happening. So same way, attention on the breath will happen.
Yes, Baba.
But it needs practice. Okay.
Yes.
All right, the second part of this question, Baba, is what is normal breathing, or rather how we are supposed to breathe normally? Okay. Should we be focused on the breathing as well as the fontanelle? You have to read it again?
Yeah.
What is normal breathing, or rather, how are we supposed to breathe normally? And should we be focused on the breathing as well as the fontanelle? Should we have dual attention?
Yeah. So, I think I already answered a bit of that. So, you don't change the breathing. Breathing is going on normally. You're just observing, observing a passing car, for example, on the road. It is that kind of a, without trying to alter the breathing at all. And so sometimes there's a tendency to, when we focus on the breath, to change the breath. In other words, constantly focusing on the breath and changing it. That won't work, because when you're doing activities, you cannot do that. So better, the breathing is going on normally. Keep a little bit of that, like 1% attention I mentioned, on the breath, on the fontanelle or on the divine sound, and then watching the breath. Again, it's a practice, just like Suresh Baba said. It becomes like, as natural as regular breathing that we do. And so it's all practice, basically, trying to do it, remembering it, and practicing it.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Baba, I'm going to give you this last question also. This is, hello, my name is Mario Carsano from Italy. I offer a question for the online meeting on the coming Sunday 10th, and thank you for your answer. I have visited and associated with many spiritual traditions, including the Self-Realization Fellowship, Roy Eugene Davis, and Ananda community. How can one be sure about the real and effective Kriya Yoga, since it seems like there are a number of them which differ to one another?
Yeah, think of Kriya Yoga like a tree, where the root is Mahavatar Babaji, the trunk is Lahiri Baba, and all the branches all around. So there are so many different realized masters that have come into, because of their blessing, they have come into being, and they have their own organizations and teachings, etc. So, but you mentioned that you have gone to 3 of them, and what you want to do is to see which one resonates with you the best, whichever that resonates with your heart, and then that's the one you want to follow. All of them are teaching well, and every one of them is going to take you to the same final goal of realization. It's just that what resonates with you the most. So it is, you decide on that, going through these different organizations, whichever one resonates, please follow them. And once you follow them, stick to them. Don't try to keep changing, organizations and trying to see this one and that one. As they say, spiritual, what do you call shopping, so to speak. The shopping. So we don't. Let's not do that.
No, that's nice. See, I had an easy path. I had not done any form of meditation, and when I took initiations from Gurudev Hariharananda ji, that was my first exposure to Kriya or for any spiritual practice. And as I went through and practiced more and more, and I read, then I saw that Baba Hariharananda ji was a direct disciple of Lahiri Baba, and Lahiri Baba learned it straight from the trunk of the tree, as Srinidhi Baba was saying. And then that was the authentic technique, or that was the technique that Lahiri Baba had, that Sri Gurudev got. And that's the technique that he followed, and that's what he taught. And he was the link of the entire lineage, because he got second Kriya initiation from Yogananda ji, third Kriya from Swami Satyananda ji, fourth, fifth, sixth Kriya from Sanyal Mahashay. So entire lineage, philosophy of the entire lineage was sort of into Baba Hariharananda ji. And that's what I got, and that's what I stayed with. And I had no desire to look anywhere else. But like Srinidhi Baba says that, do stay with one. Once you cannot put your feet on two stones and try to think that you are going to go anywhere. You cannot move anywhere. So stay anchored on one that resonates with you. See, we talked about, the mother said that free will. Yes, we have free will. If we have free will, use it. And use it with discrimination. Use it with intelligence that you have, and make a resolve that this is what resonates with me. You are going to get more beneficial results from that, rather than trying to jump from one to the other, to the other, to the other. So there are many, many paths of yoga, and we have limited life. We need, in order to make progress, we have abhyasa and vairagya. That's what we need to stay with. And we need to realize that there is no immediate result. It's a path that we are anchored on, and it is a path for life. And the benefits are tremendous from that. Thank you. We were wondering whether there are too many questions, and whether we would be able to finish all of them. We just finished all of them. Now, are there any, I don't know how to look on chat, if there are any questions that are on here. Phil Baba, can you take a look?
Let me check.
Oh, you can check? Okay. All right.
No, there are no questions here, Baba.
Okay.
They're all about, sound and that they could hear, etc. So, yeah.
I see. Okay. What we are going to do is, yes, Baba.
10 minutes.
Yes, okay. We're going to do,
So we could.
we will do general meditation. Mother?
Baba.
You thought you were going to get out of this one, huh? Okay, Mother.
Baba, 10 minutes or less? 10 minutes?
Sure. That's all right.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Baba.
That's good.
Please, all of you sit straight. Keep your concentration the top of the head. Or in between two eyebrows. Watch your every inhalation and exhalation. Vayurodhanat liyate manaha. As you moderate or control your breath, your mind will be observed and flow of thought will disappear. Normal conscious breath. Please think of God and Gurus within and around. Every breath is God. Love God in every breath. Please slowly inhale deep and exhale deep for few times. Slow, long, deep breath. Please slowly bring your attention to the higher state, thoughtless state. Please try to perceive divinity within. I am the soul. I am pure consciousness. Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Please watch your breath, watch your inner peace and divinity, and try to maintain this state. Breath consciousness is God consciousness. Om Tassat Om. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Mother. You want to do the prayer, concluding prayer?
Baba. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Srinidhi Baba. Pranams.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you all for joining this talk. Thank you for asking the questions. And as I said in the beginning, those questions that were not answered will be answered in this meeting, will be answered separately. Jai Guru.
Thank you, everyone. Jai Guru. Jai Guru.